So no one looked over at Marv and said, I wonder why he's not talking?
No.
Well, what did happen in the game was that a game that was under the control of the Knicks really was taken over by the Houston Rockets in the third quarter. Do you remember any ebb and flow like that, John?
No, well, it's just been the nature of the series. We'll get up on them at halftime, and they'll come out in the third quarter and make a run. Then fourth quarter, we normally take over.
Now, what was going on in the crowd was really bizarre. There were people who were obviously fixated on the game, but every fan is a fan to a different level. And this is probably the night when America fell in love with watching car chases. And some fans, every chance they got, were running out to the concession stand to get an update. And some Knicks fans who were real diehards were giving them a bad time for leaving the game and not being focused on the game. But you guys were able to stay focused the entire time.
Yes, we were. Although Houston made a run, you know, we felt pretty confident being at home, having our crowd behind us, that we was going to make another run, or we had enough to get over the hump in order to win this game.
You know, longtime fans say, you know, the NBA game starts with about 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and this is going to be one of those games. You think that's a fair assessment, that the game changes a little bit when you get to that midway point of the fourth quarter?
I think players get a lot tighter, and then you see some players able to step up, make shots, make plays, and some players don't. And I think that's what they mean when they say the game starts then, because now is all the pressure, especially a tight game, where it's 1-point, 2-point, 3-point game can go either way, and we stepped up.
Did you feel that there was a tangible difference in the way the game was played when it hit that point, John?
Oh, yeah. I could always remember Larry Bird talking about the last 5 minutes of the game and separate the men from the boys. And so, you know, I always try to be a man during that time of the game.
And again, this is the final home game that you guys had to play in the series, so there's that added pressure too, right?
Definitely. You don't want to walk out of the Garden losing that last game and having to go to Houston to win 2 games. And plus, as we've been saying all along, our fans were always behind us. And not only did it seem like it was the team and then it was the fans. When you talk to fans in the street, they always said we. They never said the Knicks. They always said we.
Yeah.
So they were always part of our team also.
All right, after a long break in the play-by-play with Marv Albert and Matt Guokas, we rejoin the game when they rejoin the call. Under 7 minutes to go, but it's a 1-point game at the Garden.
Back at Madison Square Garden in New York, Marv Albert with Matt Guokas. 6:49 left in the fourth quarter. In the third, the Rockets turned it around after trailing by as many as 13, ending the quarter with an 18-5 run. Hakeem Olajuwon coming up big after a quiet first half. Rockets 5 of 8 from the field in the fourth quarter. Knicks have outscored the Rockets 11-10 thus far in the fourth, and Patrick Ewing overall with 25 points and 11 rebounds. Knicks by 1. Olajuwon giving the Rockets a 1-point lead with 6.5 remaining in this fourth quarter. Game 5 of the best of 7. The series shifting back to the Summit in Houston on Sunday. The series tied at 2. Here is Mason. Ewing soaring for the rebound. And they will jump it up as Mason hits the deck along with Herrera. The Knicks at one point went 5 minutes and 5 seconds without a field goal back in the third quarter.
Anthony Mason getting in there, trying to come away with that offensive rebound, getting all tied up with Carl Herrera, who had an excellent first half. Herrera, that is, and has come up with a couple of big field goals here in the fourth quarter. And a big reason for the comeback of Houston is Olajuwon has been much more assertive when he gets the ball. Not hanging with it, not being tentative, making his move quickly. And, of course, Patrick Ewing is just having a monster game in every area.
Yes, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 6 block shots. Hakeem Olajuwon now 18 points, 6 rebounds. However, he's turned it over. And now the matchup is Olajuwon facing Ewing, and Olajuwon came up with a steal. Rockets by 1. 5:50 to go in this fourth quarter. Olajuwon played by Oakley, goes to the fadeaway, yes. And the Rockets now lead 75-72. Knicks with Hopper and Starks at the guards. Ewing, Mason, Oakley up front. And the Knicks guards have outplayed the Rocket backcourt. Ewing able to save it. Shot clock at 4. Oakley rejected and a foul called by Dick Pavetta. It is called on Herrera.
Patrick Ewing feeling good about himself, putting the ball on the floor, but Olajuwon with those lightning quick hands reaches in to flick it out of there. And watch the quick move here by Olajuwon. A quick little head fake, the little juke, gets himself in the lane, gets himself into the air before any defensive help can come down. In the early part of the ball game, he was holding and not really making a strong move, just turning around and trying to go maybe straight up. Now he's freeing himself from the defender.
Charles Oakley on the line for the first time, a 78% free throw shooter, coming off a terrific game here on Wednesday with 16 points and 20 rebounds, although he is playing hurt. With Charles, 8 points, only 5 rebounds tonight. We come up on 5 minutes to go. In the fourth, Rockets lead by 1. Olajuwon, and he is fouled again. So Akeem will head to the line as Oakley collects his 4th.
This time Oakley making it a little bit tougher for Olajuwon, and Akeem has to take that extra large step to try to get himself away from Oakley, but the push and the shove in there as the Rockets have almost exclusively gone to a screen roll play on the left side, and they've got a lot of mileage out of it. Not so much with the screen and the little nut, so it's not a roll, it's a little fade to the corner, but ducking into the middle of the lane. They've gotten some easy field goals there and some cross-court passes.
First time that Olajuwon has gone to the line tonight. At one point, the Knicks led 56-43. That with 6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Strong comeback by Houston. They now lead by 3. He was fouled by Olajuwon. That's his second.
Well, that's 2 occasions where Charles Oakley has had openings inside and has taken it very strong to the basket. He gathered his feet very well there on a sore left ankle, a bruised right foot. Knew he was in a heap of trouble against Olajuwon, who has blocked many of his shots throughout this series, but body contact forced by Oakley gets him back on the free throw line.
And the next 8 of 9 from the line here in the fourth quarter.
Interesting to see Kenny Smith out there getting the finish so far. He finished in game 1 the last couple of minutes and made a big play for Houston on a pick and roll play, penetration kickoff to Otis Thorpe. But since then, it's been primarily Sam Cassell finishing up at the point guard position. Kenny Smith's getting the call so far.
Houston by 1. Rockets with the excellent shooting, as you see, in the second half. Olajuwon played by Ewing. Again to the fadeaway. Hakeem Olajuwon converting with another fadeaway jump shot. He's 11 of 17, 24 points. Rockets 79, the Knicks 76. John Starks on a finger roll drive brings the Knicks within 1.
Well, he tried to look off Olajuwon, unable to do it. Akeem stayed with him, but he was still able to finger roll over his arm.
Well, the Knicks have been involved in a couple memorable Game 5s earlier in the playoffs. Olajuwon had the shot stopped by Ewing. The Knicks in possession, down by 1. 3:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. Harper. And back come the Rockets. You recall Game 5 of the Knicks-Chicago series at the Garden. A game that saw Scottie Pippen foul Hubert Davis. And that ended up with the Knicks winning it at the foul line.
Olajuwon likes to use that shoulder to create some space, bump into Ewing and push back. Patrick did a good job of holding his ground. Olajuwon's still able to get it as Sam Cassell.
Tonight's Miller Moment goes back to Game 5, the Lakers and the Knicks. 1970 Finals, Willis Reed going down hard, injuring his hip, forced to leave the game, but the Knicks were able to hang in after falling behind by 16 points. They managed to come back, and without their captain, they rallied to defeat the Lakers 107-100.